All right, good morning. So I overnighted at one of the truck stop gasoline stations. So very nice. Everything's pretty quiet. As you can see, not too much condensation. Once again, I leave my windows cracked. So it's right at freezing. It's 32. So yeah, very quiet. Like they said, they have places for RVs. The people here are very, very nice. I'm gonna jump in the van. Been up for a while already, had one cup of coffee, and beautiful clear skies. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back to the trail today because there's warmer weather right after the weekend. So I might find some place just to disperse camp for the next few days and just sit around the van and relax, and then I'll come back to the trail maybe on Sunday morning. I don't know. I'm still planning. That's the beauty of just this kind of lifestyle, is that it doesn't cost much to do it and it offers a lot of freedom. So I'll talk to you when I've made some decisions. All right, sitting in the van, just letting the van warm up. I'm having my second cup of coffee. Last night was like one of the colder nights in the van. It got down to like 37, and I had all my reflectix up and everything. So like I was saying the other night, I wasn't sure if it had a big impact or not. I'm guessing it really didn't. But I wasn't that cold. I forgot to mention, I'll show it in another video, but I did buy a wool blanket, fairly inexpensive, and all I did is I tried to find the one that was the heaviest, because that means it's the densest. So like I said, I'm making another cup of coffee, and that was something, two things just real briefly to discuss. Number one is that I redid, I don't know if you can, well, the finger is going to blur it, but I did redo my Velcro up top. I actually bought another spool of, it was a little bit thinner, and it's working great. Hopefully it'll hold up. The other one, like I said, it was like rated out to like 30 pounds, and I thought, oh, it's going to have super, it's going to be super adhesive, but it was not. So I took that down, and it's working great. No droops. Even when I take it down, it's not pulling it down. So whatever, I do have some fabric glue. If I need to, I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And another real quick thing. Once again, I was kind of mentioning about like, this kind of a lifestyle. You can definitely, save money, you can budget, better, because you're not paying rent and these kind of things. But even as simple as making a cup of coffee. I know I could go right into the gas station and get, my cup filled up for like $2 or something like that for a refill. But to sit here and just spend a couple of pennies of the fuel and a couple of pennies for some instant coffee. Yes, you can treat yourself. I'm not saying don't treat yourself, but once again, if you just manage it, and not going out to eat and all these, like there's a I think it's like whatever, it's like a chicken place right across that's part of it. That you could go buy yourself a breakfast biscuit, whatever, but those things do add up if you're really concerned about keeping watching your budget and keeping everything, which I'm trying to do, because I'm like I said, I'm not retired yet, as in I'm not pulling Social Security, and I'm trying to live off the little bit of savings I still have left over from my time, and I'm also using a little bit of my 401k. So that's how I'm kind of like getting by right now without working. I will eventually try to find some kind of seasonal work, and I'll bring you along for that adventure too. My coffee's getting ready. I need to do this, and so I don't waste too much fuel. All right. Alrighty. Small change of plans. Well, big change of plans. I'm actually driving up to Tennessee now. I did find some dispersed camping. That looks very, very promising. The weather, I could go backpacking right now and have a good time. It's going to be but the weather is going to get so much nicer in just a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find, like I said, this dispersed camping up in Tennessee, which it's about a 3-hour drive. I'm gonna go up there check it out and see if it, if it's for me. And then I'll plan on staying there just through the weekend, and then I'm going to come back down here on Sunday. And the weather, like I said, the lows are going to be like in like the in the 50s. The daytime it's going to be like in the 70s. Perfect backpacking weather. And then I'll probably extend my time out in the woods more than I was expecting to do in the first place. So all right, I'll keep you here on to another side adventure. One thing I as you can see, it's like, it's amazing when you go through, these back roads, just what you see. It's just, rather than, the fast pace of, 70 miles an hour, down the interstates. I get it. You get there a lot faster, but you just miss so much. And, very fortunate we live at a time where you don't have paper maps. You can just tell, Google Maps or whatever map app you use, this is the way I'd like to go. And you just wind up just, this beautiful scenery, just quiet roads. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. I just wanted to, I've been like this for I've been driving for a while now, and it's like, just seeing, turn after bend, just seeing just all this immense beauty. All right, I was about to get onto one of the major interstates, and then as I came over the hill, there's the famous Buc-ees. So I'm gonna go in there and just wander about for a little bit, stretch my legs. I've been driving for a little over an hour and a half or so. So very nice. These are always like I said, a little treat. I've mentioned that when I was going to Arizona, I mentioned stopping at the Buc-ees. I'll try my best not to get lost in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and have a little walk around. All right, just came back from going inside a Buc-ees. Once again, I'm just at the prices there. I mentioned it on another video. If you're traveling a lot and you need to just make a fast stop and you can't make it to a Walmart or someplace, less expensive, when it comes to like staples, once again, a small jar of peanut butter was less than $3. A thing of oatmeal, it was the instant oatmeal, but it was still one of the bigger containers. It was like less than $3. All bread was, everything was very, very inexpensive. I guess where they make their money, they do a lot of prepared foods here. You can get like, whatever, just beef sandwiches, barbecue sandwiches. They do, of course, they have their jerky. I think the jerky is like $30 a pound. So, I guess that's where they make a lot of their money. But when it comes to like, if you just really walk around and pick out like just, the staple items, very, very inexpensive. And once again, it's an experience. You can see people when they walk in, very overwhelmed, and those kind of things. All right, enough rambling. I'm gonna get back on the road. All right, driving down, 75. So it's one of the major interstates. I was mentioning, how I really enjoy the bendy roads and all that. It just, versus 70 miles an hour, go. But one of the things that that to talk about is, so gas prices. I'm recording this. It's in the month of March right now, as we all know, throughout America. All of the gas prices are going up. But one of the expenses of this lifestyle is the gasoline costs. That's why if you watch other people's channels, and I agree with their philosophy, they just go from boondocking area to boondocking area to go ahead and, even if they're just traveling every 14 days to conserve on gasoline. I'm right now, like I said, I'm over on the East Coast, but I'm still still in the infancy, of this travel, of this, of what I'm doing. So I really want to, I do want to travel a lot because I really want to learn I don't want to, I guess you could say like the system. So, you know, this place that I'm going to go boondock at, you know, I found it on iOverlander. You know, it seems like it's going to be okay. I even, you know, double checked with the, you know, my cell service coverage map to see if there's cell service, you know, because if I'm going to stay there, because this one I want to stay there for a few days. You know, I'll be out in the middle of, you know, in the woods. You know, I just want to have, you know, I do need, I've mentioned it in other videos, I do need some sort of mobile connection in order to edit the videos, upload, because, you know, that is part of, you know, the business. But, you know, I'm not ready to take a plunge to get, like, you know, a Starlink, you know, and all the, you know, the startup costs for that, you know, it's a few $100s for the equipment, and then it's a monthly fee. I'm already paying, I feel, you know, a reasonable amount for my cell coverage, you know, so I'm hoping from what I saw on the coverage map, I still should be within some sort of a 5G, maybe the LTE coverage versus, you know, no coverage. So I'll see when I get there, but once again, that's part of the adventure. But once again, if you're very, very concerned about cost of things, you know, I think it'd be best to, like, learn with a group. You know, like I mentioned over on the West Coast, the Homes on Wheel Alliance, they have mentoring programs and those kind of things that they, you know, they show you, and you get to see where they travel, so you get a idea of how to migrate from one area to the next area, because a lot of the places, like I mentioned before, they have about a 14-day limit before you have to move on to another one. So, all right, just wanted to bring that up while I was, you know, driving down the highway. And once again, I'll get back to you when there's something interesting, or if I just, you know, I've got nobody else to talk to. Just kidding. To Tennessee. Made it here. Very, very quiet. I think that's my only neighbor. If there's actually somebody there, that might just be somebody's spot. But yeah, they have, like, the fire pits. There's a little bit of traffic. I think there's more camping down the road, but I'm gonna just stay here for now. They have, once again, they provide you with all this cut wood. And, you know, they got the, you know, I've got two choices of fire pits. There's one here. Yeah, a lot of people keep going straight down into that area, which I will explore probably tomorrow. I'll take a hike down there just to see what that is. But I'm gonna stay here for the night. Once again, found it on iOverlander. Somebody left a review just a couple of weeks ago. So there's even, I haven't checked the pit toilet yet, but there's a pit toilet here. The only thing they don't have, or I haven't seen it yet, is water. But once again, I've got you know, my 5-gallon, and there is a Walmart within, you know, probably less than a 20-minute drive, 30-minute drive. You know, so it's very, very quiet, a little chilly, a little overcast. Supposedly tomorrow's going to be sunny, so I'm going to stay here throughout the weekend. You know, it does have, you know, there are some rules, and one of the rules are, you know, there's a 14-day maximum stay. And once again, you know, you come out here and, you know, you sit there, and this is, you know, it's free, you know. There's no cost to this. There's no cost to this versus going to pay $20, $10, $30 a night, you know, at some campsites. So very, very, very nice. All right, I will get settled in. I think I'm gonna leave the van where it is. Yes, I might hear some vehicles from time to time, but that's fine. That's fine. I am gonna put up my privacy. I'm gonna put up the reflectix on the driver's side, and also my half of my curtain, but I'll leave the other side down. And I will probably have a fire tonight since I have all this free wood. Might as well put it to use. All right. Not sure how good the camera can pick this up, but we're having snow flurries right now. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very cute. I'm gonna have to build a snowman. Alrighty, putting some dinner together. I'm just gonna have brown rice tonight with some spices in it. Seems I came here right at the right time. Man, there was a little bit of snow on the trail, but it wasn't snowing. I haven't been out in real snow since I worked out of Atlanta years ago. This is so cool. I'm gonna have to enjoy it for a little bit. I have a warm van to go into. Wowie zowie. All right, settling in for the night. Uneventful day. Enjoyed my bowl of rice. It was really fun. The snow flurries. Once again, it's pretty amazing when it's just like little adventures, and just looking into a few things, using a few apps, getting used to it. Like I said, I'm very, very pleased with the choice I made. It's still a little cold. I'm going to spend, today's Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and spend, like I said, I'm going to spend the entire weekend here for free. I'm going to go to Walmart. I'll take you along for the adventure for the next, day or so. I'm not going to, day by day, but like tomorrow, I do want to go, I'm going to go to Walmart, but there are some beautiful, beautiful scenes I'd like to just, take everybody along with. And I also want to go ahead and I want to explore down the road a little bit. I've seen some people go down there. I looked at some Google Maps and satellite imagery to kind of see if there's more camping down there. I'm not sure exactly, but it'll definitely be part of the adventure. And like I said, on the way, here, it's right off of, I don't know if it's part of the Tennessee River. I know I crossed the bridge, that was the Tennessee River, but it was very, very nice. Thanks again for, stopping by. This adventure, like I said, it definitely has morphed into, I thought I was going to just go hike for a few days and then call it, but it looks like it's going to turn into, a little, almost a 2-week little, little adventure. So thank you again for stopping by. And I really do. Like I say it, but I really do mean it, that all of you have your own amazing adventures.